Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We've got a little something special for you over these next few broadcasts. We are celebrating everything Suzuka. Yes, every race that we will bring you in the next day or two will be from the Suzuka GP circuit. Well, Suzuka, I think one of them might be Suzuka East or West, one of the others. But yes, this is the Suzuka Festival. Be prepared. We have 4 different championships, I think, coming to you in the next few streams. 4 streams. Yes, I think it's 4 streams from the Suzuka track. But first and foremost, we have the GT3 World Endurance Series 2, Round 2 to bring you. This endurance series will consist of 7 seasons using a different Group 3 car for each season, with each season containing 6 rounds. There is added jeopardy in the form of full damage, along with the added difficulty of drivers qualifying and starting each race on the racing hard tyre compound. Strategy will be key, as each driver must use all 4 tyre compounds per race. The race will be fast and frantic, with finishing positions unknown until the final part of the race. In GT3 WES, anything can happen, and it probably will. We had a Season 1 some time ago with Korean's Best in the Hyundai Genesis, and now we are on to Season 2, which is the Best of Japan in the Toyota GR Supra. Their tyre and fuel wear is rammed right up to 5, so car management is a must in this championship. And again, like I've already said, they've got to use all of the racing compounds, so pit stops are plenty, my friends. Now, before we are streamed, because this is a look back on the replay, they qualified for 10 minutes on the racing hard tyre, and as you can see on the screen, that is how they qualified. I will go through our runners and our riders. So, Racer Brown, for the second race this season, has taken pole position ahead of a J.O.O. Pace. Kale, again in third. That's exactly the same as race 1. So, it's cracking stuff. I haven't even told you the championship table yet. I'll tell you that after I've done the grid. Guesty in 4th, which is one better than last time. He qualified 5th, but this time he's gone a position higher in 4th place, ahead of Matt Psycho in 5th. Supermanny qualified in 6th. Deargore 7th. Homesick Alien qualified in 8th, with Bunny getting a 9th spot. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. I was on the track map. There you go. Bunny getting 9th spot. Uncle B Darren in 10th. Triv GG qualified 11th. Joker's 12th. Noxie in 13th. And a Digital Blasphemy in 14th. Homesick Alien is in the chat saying morning. Good morning. How is it on the outer rim of the solar system, and my alien friend? Right. So I'll tell you the table of this. I mean, there's only been 1 round, so it's just the results of the first race, really. It's a 60-minute race around here at Suzuka, so that's a lot to look forward to. So Racer Brown is at the top of the table at the moment with 18 points, followed by Guesty in 2nd on 15, Kale 3rd on 14, J.O.O. Pace on 4th in 13. Then we have Homesick Alien in 5th on 12 points, Digital Blasphemy 6th on 11 points, Supermanny is 7th on 10 points, Bunny is 8th on 9 points, Uncle B Darren is 9th, no, Bunny was 8th on 9 points. Sorry, that's where I got confusion. 9th is Uncle B Darren on 8 points. Deargore 10th on 7 points. Noxie 11th on 6 points. 12th is a Jokers with 5 points. 13th is Triv GG on 4 points. Turtle is 14th on 3 points. And Rizzler the Roller is 15th on 2 points. So the table is as tight as it possibly could be, but after only racing 1 round, that is what you would expect. Anyway, do you have your seatbelts fastened tightly? We'll go and have a look at the grid and the beautiful cars that preside there. So there we go. The Milwaukee Toyota Supra on pole for the second race in a row. Racer Brown running away with this championship so far with 6 rounds in it. Can any of these other guys get close? There is a J00 Pace in a cracking, beautiful looking car. Kale in the Pace team, and they're all carrying similar colours, are the Pace team. Well, similar liveries, different colours, sorry. There's Kale in 3rd spot, hoping to grab a win. Then we have Guesty in his Monster Loco, Mango Loco, for the Monster liveried Toyota Supra, and that looks absolutely delicious. Then we have Matt Psycho, his first round here with the WEC? Yes, sorry, series, isn't it? Not cup. But there he goes with his Sick Children's Trust livery, the famous purple and blue of Matt Psycho. A Challenger there is in that car. And then down there we have a Super Manny in 6th spot. As you can see, similar livery to Kale, but purple instead of blue. And it looks absolutely great. Then we have a Diagore in the West liveried Toyota in 7th spot. Looking for a solid race here at Suzuka. Then we have Homesick Alien in the TRD liveried Supra. Very nice, special stuff that. Then Bunny in his Gucci Toyota is sitting 9th on the grid. Looking to move up the order, I can imagine. Then we have Uncle B. Darren in his Rockstar liveried Toyota. And let's hope that energy drink gives him a special spurt up the order. The diffuser on these Toyotas look absolutely cracking. Trivs GG in the Samurai here at Suzuka, looking to do good in his Toyota. That is special, isn't it? Let's have a look. Sorry. Look at that. That is nice. Absolutely cracking. Brilliant stuff there. Next on the grid is 12th place, the second Rockstar car for Jokas, the Polish driver, looking to make an impact today here at Suzuka. Then we have Noxie in the Toyota colours, Castrol, synonymous with Toyota manufacturer. It looks great. I remember growing up with their rally cars looking like that. Carlos Sainz, Senior, being the driver for that rally team. And then we have, well, this is unusual, Digital Blasphemy down here at the back. I don't know if that was just a latecomer for qualifying or just a very bad qualifying session for the DB4M liveried Toyota driver. But we are used to seeing him a lot higher on the grid than that. So they are your runners. They are your riders. And what can happen over the next 60 minutes here at Suzuka? Shall we find out? Not half. Let's crack on. So looking at pole sitter, Racer Brown, just before the green lights. They're all on the racing hard tyres. Strategy is key around here at this absolute epic racetrack. A figure of 8. I think it's the only figure of 8 that I know in GT Sport. And there go. And Racer Brown getting a great getaway there from J00 Pace. Kale in chase to those guys. But Racer Brown is the first to the first corner. Super stuff there. God, the TV's really loud. I'm shouting. Sorry, guys. turn the TV down now, and we can calm down. So Racer Brown from J00 in second. Guesty and Kale duking it out for that third and fourth place. Matt Psycho is next on track in fifth place. Then we have a Super Manny in sixth, fighting it out with the Alien. The Alien trying to find a march on the Super Manny, and he does around the outside. An absolute beautiful move from the Alien there. So Super Manny down into seventh, Diego in eighth. He's got Bunny very close behind in chasing him down. Then we got Uncle B Darren in 10th with 11th Trivs, 12th Jokers, 13th is Noxie, and Digital Blasphemy there in 14th, trying to catch up with Noxie there in the Castrol, and it looks like he's doing a cracking job. Nearly there, he's looking for a move as they head up towards the hairpin. Hairpin. Oh, Jokers having a wobble on. Jokers was having a wobble on now. Jokers moves to the back of the pack with Digital Blasphemy and Noxie managing to move up ahead though. Racer Brown tearing away from the pack there from J00, who's now under extreme pressure from Guesty. Guesty on the move. Guesty, he doesn't need grip. He loves it. He loves it when there's no grip on his cars. He drives best when his tyres are worn. And he is now making the moves in this race from qualifying, what was it, fifth? Fourth. He's up to third, he's made a position. Kale then dropping down to fourth place, but still ahead of Matt Psycho, who's standing solid. Homesick Alien was off the track then, giving Super Manny the opportunity to move back up into that sixth place. And Homesick Alien now in seventh, just ahead of the Portuguese driver, Diego. Bunny now holding ninth place, but he's got a wobble on. Bunny losing it nearly in the last corner, giving Uncle a UBD a good run on him, and he does. He's up to ninth now for the first corner as they head up to, I don't know, is it Dunlop? I haven't got a name written down on my map. And a race. Oh, Guesty, where's J00 gone? J00's dropped down. Let's have a quick look, because that looks a bit, ooh, it's a bit manic there. We'll have a quick look and see what happens. So J00 coming along the straights, still holding on to that second place. He's been slipstreamed by Guesty. Guesty's up the inside, small bit of contact, and oh my god, there's two of them, the two South Africans out there wide. Kale and J00 as the rest of the field try and slip by, and Matt Psycho's made it through, has a Super Manny, and oh my lord, and Guesty's trying to redress. You can see Guesty's lifted off, and oh no, Jay's off the other side, and it's not gone well for our championship contender there for J00 as he makes his way to the back of the pack, and this is something crazy. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho makes his way through all the confusion. Matt Psycho makes his way up into second spot. Racer Brown absolutely doesn't need any help, but he's been helped nonetheless. He's tearing away with Matt Psycho now in second. Super Manny moving up into third. Homesick Alien finds himself in fourth place, and look at UBD go from down in 10th place. He's up to fifth already for the Rockstar driver in his Toyota. Diego in sixth. There's Bunny in seventh. Guesty down in eighth where he tried to redress. Kale also with his sideways move has put him down into ninth place. Triv GG in 10th with Digital Blasphemy making his way through the pack in 11th, just ahead of Jokers. And look at this little gaggle of cars down here, a gaggle of Toyotas all vying for position. Beautiful stuff with Digital Blasphemy leading them around. Digital Blasphemy's gone wide. J00's gone for a move up the inside, and J00 now is in 11th place. He's making his way to the top, and there is Jokers in 12th. Digital Blasphemy loses a position to Noxie. Noxie now coming through. Noxie making the move in his Castrol Toyota. He's going to be on the outside at 130R, but it doesn't matter. He's already through. Super driving from Noxie driver there. Whoa, yes. And these cars are fast and furious out there with Racer Brown. Absolute solid performance so far from the Brown. He's out there in the lead by a country mile. And talking about Racer Brown, he's in the chat saying, good morning, how are we this morning? I am a tippity top, I don't know what the word is. Matt Psycho looks like he's under pressure from Super Manny right now. Super Manny closing in on our champion-elect Matt Psycho. He's won a few things in the VRC, and he's looking to add to his trophy cabinet. Homesick Alien, though, in fourth. The man never relents, he never takes a rest. He's in the middle of an absolute corking fight for that championship in the GTMC right now. You would think he wouldn't want any other things to distract him, but no, he still enters all the other races and finds them to be calming. Uncle B Darren up into 5th. UBD doing an absolute corking job, but he's got Bunny hounding him, chasing him down. Pace is also catching up. Kale, that is. Kale the Pace. On the case for Kale the Pace. But UBD, he's doing a super job there in 5th place so far, keeping himself way ahead of the Bunny. And Pace, Kale, is sitting in 7th. JOO already up into 8th. He is absolutely having a barnstorming race so far. He's making his way halfway up through the grid. And Trivs is in 9th. Guesty in 10th place. 11th there for Jokus, ahead of Noxie. And Digital, oh, it's Deargore. Deargore seems to have lost some. He must have had an off. He's down there in last place. So poor Deargore has got all the work to do in this race. But Racer Brown, meanwhile, is pulling away from the pack with Matt Psycho staying ahead of Super Manny. But Super Manny trying to stay close to the purple and blue livery driver. He wants a good position here, does Super Manny, for the South Africans. Uncle B's already gone in. Uncle B has gone in. It's not through tyre wear. He must be just sick of those tyres. And it's a tough one with the fuel the way it is. The JOO found that when he stopped early last round, that you don't have enough fuel. You've got to make an extra stop. So that is a brave move from UBD out there to make this stop this early in the race. Racer Brown sticking to it with Matt Psycho trying to stick to Racer Brown, but Racer Brown is becoming a dot to Matt Psycho as they make their way around here. A beautiful, beautiful track at Suzuka, and like I said, we are having ourselves a Suzuka festival this weekend. You will see 5 separate races from this beautiful track, with the 2 races coming from GTMC, the McGann Trophy Championship, and the Super Formulas. We are having ourselves an absolute corker. Oh, and if anyone's interested, there's Naked HD that does online strips without clothing in the chat. I don't know how to block that sort of stuff, but it's not worth looking. I'm pretty sure they'll probably want your credit card, so I wouldn't even bother. But thank you, Naked HD XYZ. It's always nice to be offered to see a naked person, but I'm gonna pass, thanks. I'll keep my money in my bank and just use my imagination, but thank you anyway. So Racer Brown moving away from the pack with Matt Psycho. Now, if it was a stripped down engine, Naked HD, I think you'd get a lot more interest. Why don't you put some dungarees on and strip an engine block, a V12. Come on, that's what we want to see, naked. So Racer Brown leading the way from Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien in. He's also come into the pits. Interesting strategy from some of these guys out there. But the top 3, 4, Gunny moving up into 4th. Kale there now in 5th. JOO is making his way up through the pack. There he is in 6th place. Guesty 7th. Trivs is in 8th. Noxie 9th. Jokus is in 10th place. Deargore in 11th. UBD, he's out there in 13th. He put the racing medium tyres on. But again, these early stops are very it's racing softs for the Alien. He's got out before UBD. But it's an interesting strategy to make, because like the fuel is tight. The fuel is very tight. They only just made it with the 4 stops. And that's going a bit later in the race. You want to use as much fuel up in your first tank as you possibly can. There is Racer Brown already halfway through his fuel tank. Matt Psycho again also halfway through his tank. Super Manny, it's all similar fuel wear. Ooh, JOO making a move on his teammate there, the Pacers. And Guesty is closing in. Guesty is closing in on these guys. Super Stuff will sit on board with Sir Guesty as he tries to make a move on the South African Kale. And these two are pretty much matched in skill as they make their way around Spoon. And we are on lap 5 at the moment of this 60-minute race, just coming up to 10 minutes, so 50 more minutes of this glorious racing as we see JOO, Kale and Guesty all very close to each other as they go through 130R. Wow, no grip in that corner whatsoever. You heard Guesty's car screaming for mercy as they go through a Casio chicane. You see the large Ferris wheel in the background, absolute, and there goes pace. Kale nipping into the pits. He's making a pit stop. So Supermanny, so's Triv GG. They're all going in behind these guys. It's only Racer Brown, Matt Psycho, JOO and Guesty staying out. Bunny's also stayed out with Jocus and Deargore. So and there is strategies asunder out there. Everyone on a different kind of strategy. So the running order so far is Racer Brown in the lead, Matt Psycho in second spot. Then we have JOO in third, Guesty in fourth, Bunny in fifth, Jocus in sixth. Oh, Jocus nice and close to Bunny. Bunny on the sideways goes there. He's lost the side of the car. He's lost the back end. It's snaking. His Gucci Toyota snaking through the S's, but he manages to hold on to the position. And Jocus there probably didn't know which way Bunny was going. But Joker's getting ever closer. Joker's going up alongside him. This is the move. Joker's on the outside though. Degner. Yeah, Degner. Named after the designer of the track, just in case you ever wondered. And Jokers loses out to Deargore with that move on Bunny, but Bunny's lifted to let Jokers through. He obviously thought it was his contact that caused Jokers to lose out there. So Bunny, the ever gentleman, look at the cars snaking around. They're just so difficult to get the accelerator down. And Bunny and Jokers lose. Oh, now they've made contact and it's all gone wrong for Jokers. And as we were watching that, we saw that Homesick Alien made his way through after his pit stop, already up to 6th place, not far behind Deargore. So Homesick Alien making that strategy work for him. We were going through the order, weren't we? So Racer Brown, Matt Psycho's come in as well. Matt Psycho has made a pit stop. Racer Brown still staying with it. JOO up to 3rd already, and he's going into the pits as we speak. So Guesty now up into 2nd place, going for that long run on those hard tyres. And then we have Deargore, who he hasn't pitted yet. And he does not. He goes through as Homesick Alien, who has pitted, tries to get the moves going on Deargore as they head up to the first corner. And absolutely a screamer of a corner. We'll get on board with Homesick Alien just to prove what sort of speed you push into that first corner. You go in fast, brake mid-corner to try and kill the speed to get onto this right-hander as you head up towards the S's. Absolutely cracking on the curbs. Climb them curbs as much as you possibly can. Try and straight line these bad boys if you dare. And then you head towards Dunlop curb, ever going uphill and to the left. Car sliding to the outside all the time as you make your way over the crest of the hill. Then it's back downhill towards Degner. You got to kill the speed in this corner here. You really got to get it down to go under the bridge where the track crosses over and head towards the hairpin. And Homesick Alien now up into 3rd place after his pit stop. Unbelievable stuff. So Racer Brown is leading, Guesty in 2nd, Homesick Alien 3rd, Matt Psycho making his way out of the pits in 4th. An absolute great run for Matt Psycho, where he made the pit stop and got back out before half of the field come past. Deargore in 5th place. He still has not pitted in his West liveried Toyota there. Uncle B, one of the first pit stoppers. He went onto the medium tyres. He's up in 6th. And now Racer Brown, the race leader, is into the pits. But 6th place for Uncle B with Supermanny in 7th. Supermanny carrying a bit of damage on there. We've got full damage in this championship, remember. He's going to have to either carry that damage all the way to his next pit stop or fix it. It's a decision he has to make, but he's trying to have a look one side or the other to Uncle B. Uncle B moving out onto the race line to stop him. And this is some crazy race in between UBD and Supermanny. as they fight tooth and nail there. Racer Brown back out in the lead. Homesick Alien now into second with Guesty making his pit stop. Deargore in. Guesty still in the pits. He hasn't come out yet. That is interesting stuff. So Uncle B moving his way up to fourth. Supermanny in fifth. JOO. Oh no, there comes Guesty. Guesty out in the track on sixth. He's going to be alongside JOO. JOO just goes ahead. JOO into sixth with Guesty in seventh. Kale in eighth place. Trivs is ninth. Then we have Noxie in 10th spot with Bunny in 11th. Deargore is just coming out of the pits for 12th. Jocus is in the pits. Can Digital Blasphemy? He hasn't featured much in this race. Has a Digi. And in the chat we've got Matt Sykes saying morning thingy. Yo Matt. And Naked's off again. She's trying to get your credit card details. Go to her website to go and look at online strips without clothing. Unbelievable stuff. She's really giving it some hardcore pushing at the moment. And like I said, I'm telling you, Naked HD, they're not interested. They're petrol heads. Now, if you say you're going to strip down a V12 engine or change a tyre, you might get a little bit more interest. But these guys, I don't think they're interested in seeing your boobs. Racer Brown saying, only just come out in the lead. Homesick was just behind me. So, yes, Racer Brown. That is tight. But he's in a better fuel strategy than Homesick Alien at the moment. Matt Psycho there is very close between the top three out there. And this is some stunning stuff. Supermanny there in fourth place, just ahead of UBD. UBD giving it great balls there to try and get himself ahead of the South African. But the South African has got it all set up. Ooh, a little bump there, but no harm, no foul. They both make it through Casio and head around to start a lap 8, and we are nearly 17 minutes into this race. 60 minutes of pure adrenaline racing out there here at Suzuka. So Racer Brown leading the way from Homesick Alien, and Matt Psycho closing up on the Alien. He's just got himself the fastest lap of the race with those racing soft tyres on. Homesick Alien also on the racing softs. Racer Brown went for the mediums. Then we have Supermanny in fourth, Uncle B in fifth place, JOO not far behind. UBD there as well, Guesty close to JOO. And then we got Kale out there in 8th place. He's a little further behind those guys. These on the racing mediums. Guesty's on the racing mediums. So is Jay. UBD also on those racing mediums. He was one of the first to pit. And it looks like JOO is just lining up UBD there for a move around the outside of the hairpin. And Guesty's there. So Jay has to be very careful, or he'll leave the door wide open. As I gulp down my warm beverage. With Uncle B. Looks like he's going to lose the spot though. JOO's got to run on him as they head towards 130. This is going to be absolutely tight. And oh my lord, Jay's up wide. There was a little bumpy going into that one, and I think Jay might have a shout there. And Uncle B losing the position to Guesty as Guesty moves himself up into a 5th place. And I don't know, it was very tight between Jay and Uncle B. Jay having a run on Uncle B into that corner, and now Kale's moving into a position there, and Uncle B is very, very aggressively defending his spot from Jay. Jay trying anything he can to get by. And in his defence to Jay, 2 people have got by on UBD. It might have been easier just giving up the spot to Jay, as Jay had a run on him, rather than losing the spot to Guesty and Kale to defend from Jay. But maybe it's a championship move. So Racer Brown then trying to pull away, and there's a very tight race going on here for second place. It looks like Matt Psycho's got a run on the Alien of the inside, but they're on the hairpin, and now Homesick Alien's got that inside line on the hairpin, and Matt Psycho making his way the long way round, but now Matt Psycho staying there with the Alien, has got himself the inside line, but it's a fast corner and the inside line isn't going to do you much good there as they head up towards the second part of Degner. No, they've come out of that. They're coming towards Spoon Curve now, sorry. I'm getting myself confused from looking at the map, looking in the corner and looking at the racing and looking at Naked HD's website. Just trying to get my credit card details in. Boobies! So Matt Psycho then making the move up into second place. What a move! Cracking stuff from Matt Psycho on Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien's fuel getting lower and lower. Matt Psycho still good for fuel. He's chasing down Racer Brown in this race. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far on his racing softs. But Racer Brown on those mediums still has the super soft and the softs in his bag, and he's going to use them later in the race. Matt Psycho in second, Homesick Alien in third. Super Manny is doing a super job in fourth spot at the moment, but Guesty chasing him down. And Super Manny on those super softs, still carrying that damage at the front of his car. So he'll be hoping for a pit stop pretty soon. Guesty then in fifth place with Kale sixth. And it's all very tight here in the mid-pack. UBD still ahead of JOO pace. And I don't speak Afrikaan, but I imagine there is some choice words in South African for that Rockstar liveried Toyota ahead of JOO. Ninth is a Noxie. Noxie doing a cracking job from the back of the pack. Already up into ninth place with Deargore in 10th. 11th for Trivs G, and we got a little battle here. Bunny's coming out of the pits. I don't know if that's his first stop, but he's out in 12th place ahead of Jokus and Digital Blasphemy into the pits as well. It looks like an early stop from him. Or he's either pitted it and he's done for the day. It doesn't look like any work's being done on that car. So maybe Digital has had enough of this race. But Racer Brown continuing on out there in the lead. Matt Sykes' mega battle with Homesick. It was a cracking little battle we saw going on there. And Matt Psycho pulling away from the Alien. And now Homesick Alien needing to come into the pits before UBD, and UBD was the first one, but UBD does need to pit as well. JOO has managed to get himself by and up into 7th place. There goes Homesick Alien into the pits then at the 23-minute mark already, not even halfway, and he's on his second pit stop. So Matt Psycho in second place. Super Manny, he's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. I imagine he's going to continue on and get himself ahead of the Alien, as is Guesty in fourth. Kale carrying on as well, and JOO. So it's the two early stoppers, UBD and Homesick, into the pits. Noxie is he going to move up to 7th? Possibly. No, Homesick's out of the pit lane ahead of Noxie, but only just ahead of Noxie. That is very tight. Very tight. Noxie's got the momentum into the first corner, but Homesick Alien on them racing medium tyres. He's got to get him up to temperature, and Noxie's going to have a good shout at having a run at the Toyota of Homesick Alien, but Homesick Alien looks like he's got it. He didn't even fill up. So Homesick Alien, he's opting to go for a couple of more pit stops possibly in this race. That is an interesting strategy. Deargore in 9th spot with Bunny in 10th, just ahead of UBD. UBD coming out on them softs, just behind the Gucci Toyota. Jokus in 12th. Trivs is in the pits. It doesn't look like there's any work. Oh no, he's fueling up. So Trivs in the Samurai into the pits now and coming out in 13th behind Jokus. A lot of work to do for the Toyota driver, and Jokus, he's not going to be pitting anytime soon on those mediums. Half a tank of fuel, so Trivs a huge amount of work to do. Digital Blasphemy, he's reading the times. Or maybe he's gone to Naked HD XYZ's website. Oh, she's written some different things. Sorry, I thought it just said online strips all the time. Here, girls want everyone, even you, and your credit card number. Here, girls want everyone, even you, and your money. Here, girls want everyone, even you. Even you. That's horrible, man. What do you mean, even me? That's disgusting. What's wrong with me? Even me? Oh my lord, I am a troll. She even wants a troll. You calling me a troll, Naked? What? Even you? They want everyone. Anyone will do. Even someone disgusting like you. As long as you put your credit card number in here. But Jesus, Naked, be nice. Even you. My word, I've had some trolls on the streams giving me some jip, but even you. Ugh. Not that bad. Jesus, I'm married, man. There's someone who wants me. Even you. Sorry, wifey. Even me. Oh my lord. Here, girls want everyone. Even you. Even you will do. Barely human. So, Racer Brown leading the way from Matt Psycho. Guesty in third place with Kale in fourth. Kale in fourth. He's ahead of Supermanny. Supermanny hasn't pitted. So, Kale has made that move on track. So, I apologise. And Guesty as well. Guesty and Kale moving on through the order. Supermanny dropping down a position. JOO there in sixth. He's going to need to pit soon himself. Homesick Alien in seventh on his second pit stop. He's going to have to try, and he didn't even top the fuel right up. So Homesick Alien is on a very interesting strategy. There is a Noxie. Racer Brown saying, I'm laughing my head off. Even you, Racer Brown, even you. You can see her naked as well. So Racer Brown leading the way out there, absolutely untouchable. Except for Naked, she might touch him. Even you. So Racer Brown leading the way from Matt Psycho. Guesty in third. Kale in fourth. Jay and Supermanny both are making a pit stop. That will move Homesick Alien up the order. But he's on half a tank of fuel. We're not even halfway into this race yet. There's a long way to go. There's a long road to Tipperary. And Homesick is on that road. So Diego in sixth place. Diego having an absolute solid race. We saw him falling right back from the pack earlier on. And he's up to sixth place. With a quarter of a tank of fuel. Solid racing medium tyres on there. Not much wear. So Diego really fighting back in this race as Jay and Supermanny both exit the pits. In seventh and eighth. Bunny up into a ninth place now. UBD is 10th. Jokus in 11th. No, Noxie coming out of the pits in 11th. Ahead of Jokus, but it's very tight as they get to the first corner. Noxie just, and there's a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag just up ahead of them. And no, it's gone now, so I don't know what the yellow flag was. It could have been for UBD. Could have been for Bunny. Who knows? But it's gone. The problem is cleared, and Noxie in a solid 11th ahead of Jokus with Trivs GG in 13th. He's some distance away from those guys though. Racer Brown leading the way, heading over the line. And Matt Psycho into the pits. He needs the fuel. He needs the fuel. Guesty he's going to be in the pits. He needs the fuel. They're all on vapors running around now. As we hit the halfway mark, Homesick Alien's had a spin. Homesick Alien, a massive spin, damaged the back of his car. And he's on his way again. But Diego, another position. Tick. Even you, Diego. Cracking stuff. What a comeback from the Portuguese driver. So Racer Brown in the lead. The rest of the gang have nipped into the pits. Homesick Alien will be. He's got a rear spoiler damage. Rear diffuser. That is a big, huge diffuser. It's hard not to hit that back end. Baby's got back. These Toyotas. So Jay, he'll be chasing down the Alien. He's not that far behind him. with a good strategy on the go. Guesty and Kale still in the pits. Matt Psycho back out of the pits on his super soft tyres in second place. Diego in third. Homesick Alien holding on to that fourth. Guesty comes out of the pits ahead of Kale. And Kale doesn't quite beat Jay out of the pits. Jay there up into sixth place. Jay having a good race as well. Good solid race from those that fell back to the pack at the beginning. Are coming back strong in this race here at Suzuka. Our first race of 5 from Suzuka. With 2 racers with the GT to come. And then the Megane trophies and the Super Formulas all taking place on this exact same track. We are having a Suzuka festival here this weekend. Shame the V-dubs aren't racing here. They're at Bathurst. But still, Asian-ish. I think Australia are classed in the Asian area. So Racer Brown going in for his second stop. Everything's to plan for Racer Brown. And Racer Brown saying the undercut was strong here, so it's Matt Psycho we've got to watch. He's miles away though, isn't he? He's on a very fast part of the track. And how close to Racer Brown can Matt Psycho get? As he comes around 130R towards the chicane. He's breaking down now for the chicane to get through Casio. Racer Brown's team are fueling up. They're fueling up as he comes around the final corner. And Racer Brown, they're feeling the urgency in that pit. And Racer Brown coming out of the pits. There's Racer Brown. There's Matt Psycho. He's on the start straight, but Racer Brown, he's away. And the Toyota Milwaukee Tit Crew. That's naked, getting me all revved up. Pit Crew. Tit Crew. That's a different website. So the Milwaukee Toyota Pit Crew have done a super job getting Racer Brown back out there ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on the super softs and Racer Brown on the softs. So that's an intriguing little battle there. Guesty in third on those softs ahead of J00, but not that far ahead of Jay. We've got ourselves a tantalizing little battle here with a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all in very close vicinity of each other. Noxie, where did Homesick Alien go? He must have pitted. So Noxie, 7th, just ahead of UBD. Yeah, Noxie on a good pit strategy at the moment. He's on the soft, same as UBD, with a bit better fuel. There we have Homesick. He hasn't pitted. He's gone on with that damage. He had just pitted. No, he has pitted, and he's either damaged his car again, or he didn't fix the original damage. Maybe he didn't think it was hurting too much. But Homesick Alien making another stop, his third one of the race. He's put the super softs on, and he's in 9th place, just ahead of Diego, who also has just pitted in 10th spot. These two are going to duke it out now. The TRD livery versus the West Toyotas. Trivs GG in 11th. He's got himself ahead of the Jokers. Jokers recently pitted though and put the softs on. And Trivs, he needs to gain a little ground on Jokers. Digital Blasphemy, he's finished the times. He's moved on to the Daily Mail now. Or maybe he's on Naked HD XYZ, just filling out his last credit card details. He wants to see boobies. So Racer Brown leading the way from Matt Psycho. Guesty there in 3rd place. And it's very close. Nip and tuck between these guys. I guess he's a little further back, obviously. But he's on a similar strategy to them guys. Similar fuel loads. If anything goes wrong up ahead, Guesty is the next man, it looks, to take something out of this race. Jay under pressure from Kale. Let's get on board with Kale. Very close behind a J00 pace at the moment, and he'll be getting a little dirty air from that Toyota ahead of him. Fighting. You can see Guesty just ahead of these guys, and Kale getting the fastest lap. That last lap around through the corners, it doesn't help, but as soon as you hit a flat straight bit of land, then Kale will be getting a lovely slipstream from Jay. Jay punching a hole in the air. And there we go. You can see the slipstream working here as he draws closer to his teammate. You can't race too aggressively, though. And you don't want to take your teammates out. So Jay just ahead of Kale. And they'll be working together. We've got the three South Africans together in 4th, 5th and 6th place. I'm looking at Kale's little monitor, but I can't see a Super Manny. He is there though, he is behind them, not too far. It's not a huge distance behind. And there we go, up the fast straight. Kalen in the chat saying, a nice pace, boys. They always have a good showing, do they, the pace boys, Kalen? It's always a pleasure to commentate on their racing. It's beautiful, close and tidy. So coming down to Casio, Kale trying to close the gap on Jay with Super Manny just behind them there. And they are trying to catch up with Guesty, who's in 3rd place. Soft tyres, half a tank of fuel. Similar strategies throughout. Kale a little bit better on the fuel. Maybe that's through the slipstream. I'm trying to see. Lap 14, did Kale pit on? Jay, lap 13. So yeah, it's a lap earlier. So Kale on a lap fresher tyres. He's got a lap's worth more of fuel on board. And this is a beautiful little battle we're having here between the two South Africans, JOO and Kale, matching each other's speeds really. With Jay doing a 59.5 last time around, Kale doing a 59.6, Super Manny a 2-minuter, but his tyres do look a little bit more old. And Racer Brown getting the fastest lap last time around on those softs, a 58.7. And Matt Psycho a 2-minuter on the super softs, but he might be trying to wean out that fuel a little bit. He did pit, I think, a lap earlier. No, he didn't. Yeah, a lap earlier than Racer Brown. So Matt might be trying to wean out his fuel. There is Guesty in a solid podium position at the moment at 59.4 from that monster Toyota. And Kale's ahead of Jay. Oh my God, we watched it all that time and we missed the move. Hang on, I'll knock it back. It's only fair. Here we go. I've knocked it back about 40 seconds. I think it was 20 seconds too long. But here we see Kale lining up Jay as they come to the hairpin. And Jay looks a little wide coming out of the hairpin. And what a move, Kale. Absolutely delicious. Cracking stuff then from Kale up the inside of the hairpin. And Kale makes the move definitive. And solid move there from Kale on his pace teammate. Maybe it was organised. You don't know. I mean, Jay's on older tyres than Kale. Maybe he wants to get towed along a little bit as well by his teammate. They do look like they're closing in on Guesty though. So the job's doing a good one. Cracking job there. So a Racer Brown, no mistakes from him so far, which Matt Psycho, it's probably all he can hope for at the moment. Matt Psycho on full throttle. He's not messing about, but it's tough. You have to, it's a tough one to try and catch up Racer Brown. Then, Guesty's dropped it. Guesty's dropped it in the first corner. Oh my Lord, he's dropped it big time. And that gives Kale up to 3rd, with Jay moving up to 4th, Super Manny into 5th, and poor Guesty. You don't see that very often. With Guesty now dropping down into 6th place, it looked like a solid podium for Guesty. He wasn't under that much pressure, but he was just probably going for fastest laps. Noxie on an absolute corker of a race at the moment in 7th place. We saw he qualified in 13th. And he's doing an absolutely bonsai job there. for 7th spot in his Castrol liveried Toyota. Cracking stuff, a good distance ahead of UBD, whose tyres are looking absolutely torn to pieces. Deargore on a fresher set of softs, a bit better fuel. He's all over the back of UBD, waiting to make the move for that 8th spot. UBD struggling with his tyres out there. He put a wheel onto the dirt, he's gone wide, and that is it. That's all Deargore, the Portuguese driver, needed to move up into 8th place, and UBD down in 9th. Homesick Alien still carrying that rear diffuser damage, trying to make his way through. Damage limitation, I think this one is for the Alien. Trivs in 11th, still ahead of Jokers, so Trivs doing a super job, but he's going to have to pit pretty soon, and it doesn't look like he's pulled away from Jokers too much. So Racer Brown ahead of Matt Psycho. The battle here is for the podium, though, between the South African boys. Kale, he seems to have pulled a little bit out on Jay, but Kale's on the fresher set of tyres as J00 following him around, and Superman getting ever closer. The pace team running a line astern. Guesty can't believe his luck. I bet he can't believe it. He was doing a solid job there for 3rd place, and it just made one small mistake, and that was it. He dropped 3 places. Noxie in 7th place, doing an absolute stand-up job there for his Castrol team, Toyota team. Deargore trying to close up on Noxie. Noxie will have to pit earlier than Deargore, so Deargore could be in a solid place here for getting that position from Noxie. Uncle B is going to have to make a pit stop soon, and those front softs are absolutely torn to sunder. He's definitely used the front end grip of that Rockstar car. Homesick Alien, he might be able to get himself ahead of Uncle B, but Homesick Alien was one of the earlier pit stoppers, so he might be running around with his engine turned down a little bit at the moment. He did a 208 on lap 18, and it's not going well for the Alien at the moment. Trivs GG has made that pit stop, so Jokus moves up ahead. Oh my, Trivs looks like he had an issue on that lap. He's broke his engine and his front diffuser, so he's going to have to do some repair work as a Racer Brown puts a lap on him, and he's flying, really, absolutely flying from Matt Psycho, near enough a straight apart. Matt Psycho sticking with it, though, for a solid 2nd place. Kale in 3rd. Jay, he's going to have to pit pretty soon, maybe this lap, we'll see. He's going to peel off into the pits. How's Superman doing? Superman's got another lap on him, so Superman moving up into 4th place. Guesty, he's still got a couple of laps in that car, so Jay dropping down into 6th place. What about Noxie? Noxie's got another lap in his car as well, I assume, but Jay could be getting out ahead of him. They've got to fuel up, though, first, as Noxie makes his way across the line. And Noxie getting that position from Jay, as does Deargore. Deargore in a great position with half a tank of fuel, fresh tyres. But Jay comes out ahead of Deargore. He's gone for super softs and 3/4 of a tank. Is that going to last him for the rest of this race? We've got 17.5 minutes of racing left to do, and I very much doubt that 3/4 of a tank of fuel is going to get you there. So Jay obviously planning another pit stop before the end of this race, and I have lost track of all of these pit stops, I must say. There's Deargore. Uncle B has come in. Get rid of those tyres. I imagine he's quite pleased about that, although the tyres are getting absolutely abused here, so maybe a full tank of fuel isn't a great idea on the super softs. They will only need a short stint before they're absolutely torn up. So Racer Brown then, so far, 1/4 of a tank of fuel. He's going to be aiming for the 45-minute mark to make his final pit stop. He seems to be doing it in 15-minute sessions. But again, like questions are on those super softs, you can see Matt Psycho, he's very pleasant to his tyres, but he's made them last. He's made them last. I don't know what he's not used. Mediums or softs, one or the other. I think Racer Brown's still got the super softs to use, as has Kale. Supermanny, he's going to be coming into the pits. Guesty might still have another lap in his car. So Supermanny is into the pits. Guesty. Noxie's definitely going to have to pit, and he's getting caught up by Jay. So Guesty's peeling off into the pits. And Noxie also, he'll be peeling off into the pits after Casio. So Jay will be moving back up. And Kale might have to watch himself. If the undercut is strong here, Jay's out there on those super softs doing some super lap times. He might be able to get a jump on Kale out of the pits. We will just have to wait and see. But big questions, big questions, whether or not Jay can make that fuel tank. I don't think he's going to make the fuel tank last. I think he's going to have to make another stop. So Racer Brown leading the way from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho needing to make a pit stop pretty soon. Kale in third. He's still got a couple of laps left in that tank. And he can see a car, but I don't think it's Matt Psycho. No, it must be, I'm guessing, Trivs. JOO in fourth, getting purples, going for fastest laps now. And the fastest lap to beat is a 58.734. And can Jay do it? Then we've got Diego in an absolute solid drive from the Portuguese driver. His tyres are starting to look a little worn out now. Supermanny back out of the pits in sixth place, ahead of Homesick Alien, who we assume turned his engine down in that last stint to try and make the fuel last. And I don't know what tyres he's not used. Mediums, I think. So Matt Psycho is into the pits, whilst Racer Brown continues on for another lap. What is Kale going to do? He might have the fuel for another lap, but he's also got to be wary that his teammate Jay is out there getting purples, or he was getting purples. Yes, Kale's come in. Kale's come in to try and cover off Jay. Jay, though, he's going to be a threat for Kale in this next stint. Diego doing a solid job at the moment in fifth. Supermanny just pitted, put onto the medium tyres. Homesick Alien, I think he's going to have to use a mediums. There is a Guesty trying to catch up with the Alien. He's not too far, and he's on the super softs. Matt Psycho back out the pits, still in second place. No one's close to these top two at the moment. And Racer Brown, his fuel is a flash in, but he's going to be going on to the super softs. So, I don't know. JOO does get that move done on Kale. He gets the undercut, and Jay is up into the podium position. But Kale on the super softs with a full tank of fuel, which I'm guessing he's going to make last for the rest of the race. And Jay may have to make another pit stop before the end of the race. Diego, he's going to have to make a pit stop. Supermanny may not have to make a pit stop. Guesty, I was going to say he's made the move on the Alien, but the Alien's come in. Noxie, he's aiming to go the rest of the way. He's going to get himself ahead of the Alien. And if Jay does have to pit, Noxie will be aiming to get ahead of Diego and possibly JOO. JOO is going to have to really pull out all the stops for the rest of this race, as our Racer Brown's coming close to, and there he goes. He peels into the pit stops. Matt Psycho, he's not even at Spoon yet, so I think Racer Brown, safe to say he's going to make his pit stop and get back out again. JOO, though, half a tank of fuel. How far can he take that fuel into this race? Kale has made his stop. He's come out behind his teammates, and it is the battle for the podium. Diego is going to have to go in, which will give Supermanny that position. Guesty possibly will get ahead of Diego, and Noxie, I'm guessing, is aiming to get ahead of Diego in the pits. Homesick Alien might be a little too far back. Diego, I think, might get out ahead of the Alien. We will just have to wait and see. UBD, he's got a bit of damage on the front there, but he seems to have a good distance ahead of Trivs. Trivs and Jokus having an absolute corker come the end of this battle. Didn't they battle it out last race? I can't remember now, but I think they may have done. And we've lost two drivers. We started with 14. I know Digital Blasphemy was sat in the pits. Bunny. I haven't seen Bunny for a while, so we've lost Bunny as well. So a Trivs there. He's just getting a lap put on him by a Racer Brown. He stays out of the way. As a Diego comes into the pits, this was the interesting one. Superman does move up, as does Guesty and Noxie as well. So Diego is Homesick Alien. He's got to be keeping his eye out for. Can he get out before the Alien gets there? He's out of the pits now, and the Homesick Alien's just into the final corner. So Diego up into 8th place. He qualified 7th, but he did fall quite far back early on in this race from the pack. So he's had a fight back, has Diego. But a Racer Brown pitting and back out, still in the lead of this race. Unbelievable pace this man has in this Toyota, and it's not, he needs an off. Matt Psycho needs Racer Brown to go wide somewhere. JOO holding on to that 3rd position, but I don't think his fuel is going to make it. Kale closing in on his fellow teammate Superman, not too far behind them also. And he might gain if Jay has to pit. This is very interesting between the South Africans. Guesty, he'll be wanting to get something out of this. I can't believe he was in a solid 3rd place. And in the first corner, I think he just pushed that Toyota a little too far. There goes Jay. We said he was probably going to have to pit. He's in now. Kale up into 3rd. Superman, he's going to get the position as well. And how far back is Jay going to actually drop? Here comes Guesty. Guesty around the final corner. He's looking like he's got that position as well. And poor Jay. He short-filled it to try and get track position. And he's lost 3. He's out ahead of Noxie though. Noxie's in the final corner, but Jay is already in transit. And he is out in 6th place. Not too far behind Guesty. He's on a fresh set of Super Softs. But Guesty Super Softs aren't that old either. So, oof. Battle and a half here. With Racer Brown leading the way as we're under 9 minutes left of racing here at Suzuka Circuit. The first of 5 races that we're going to witness here on our Festival of Suzuka for the Virtual Racers Club. Don't forget to keep up with everything to do with Virtual Racers Club at www.virtualracersclub.co.uk. All the tables are updated on that website. You can also join us in our Discord for all the chats and funny stuff. And Racer Brown then making his way around the final corner to start lap 26. Gets himself the fastest lap just to compound that pole win and fastest lap and destroy his fellow competitors. And Matt Psycho on those mediums has got, he's never going to get a fastest lap on medium tyres next to the Super Softs. But he's in a solid 2nd place, good points haulage, with Kale there looking good for the podium finish. Superman in 4th, with Guesty trying to close in on Superman. Superman's on the medium tyres, remember. He's doing 201s, Guesty doing 159s. Guesty closing that gap to Superman. We might have a grand finale here between Superman and Guesty. You've got JOO not too far behind him as well on a fresh set of Super Softs. He'll be trying to close that gap as well. So we may have a 3-way fight for that 4th place. We will see. Superman will be under orders from the pace team not to let Guesty past. He'll be getting told to defend like a lion. And JOO as he tries to catch up that battle before Guesty catches up with the medium-clad Superman. Noxie in a solid place. He was aiming to get himself ahead of Diego in the pits, and he has managed it. Noxie on the Super Softs. He's done a 201.4 last time around. Diego doing a 2-minute. So, I don't know. I think Noxie might be pretty safe if he doesn't do anything silly by the end of the race. Homesick Alien, he's kind of all on his own there in 9th place. He was having a solid race. His pit stops did seem a little early, and then he had a massive off, which damaged his rear diffuser. And he's ended up down in 9th. UBD, he made early stops like the Alien. I think it's cost him positions in this race. He's 10th at the moment. Jokus ahead of Trivs, and he's quite comfortably ahead of Trivs as Racer Brown comes up towards him to put a lap on the Rockstar liveried Toyota. And really, Racer Brown, 2 races in a row now, 2 wins. These other guys are going to have to go back to the drawing board to try and work out how this man does it. He's really in a league of his own. So Matt Psycho, no slouch as well. He's a very fast driver, tough to beat on his day. But when it comes to fuel consumption, Racer Brown, I think Racer Brown goes through the corners a gear higher. That's how I've heard it. Although he's down in first gear there. But it's a hairpin, you've got to, ain't you? But yeah, I think he's very good at driving the car on a higher gear through the corners. Great car control. As he makes his way around, we have got 5 more minutes left of racing here. Where is the racing? There's the racing. Guesty catching up. Superman J. He's too far behind. It's not going to help. He really needs Superman to become a roadblock for Guesty if he wants to get involved for that battle. But Superman on those medium tyres, I just don't think there's going to be much Superman can do in this race against Guesty. Guesty on the super softs, but they are looking a little tattered, a little old now. And Superman is going to do everything he can to keep Guesty behind. Guesty having a look around the outside, such as the grip of those super softs, but Superman placing his car in a beautiful position to stop Guesty by getting by. And Jay really needs to get a shake on if he wants to join this battle, but he's the other side of Spoon. So Jay is going to be too far back to get involved in this race, but Superman defending with all his might, coming out onto 130R. And you can see Guesty's just grip through 130R is so much better as they go into Casio. Superman just ahead of Guesty. JOO only just going through 130R. He's got to catch these guys up because there's nothing Superman is going to be able to do down this straight against those super soft tyres. And there you go, Guesty up into 4th, into the first corner. He's going to be able to late brake as well. Brake late. Late brake and brake late. They're the same. Late brake, brake late. So Guesty up into 4th place. Superman now in 5th. JOO trying to catch them guys up, but he did a 205 that last time around. That's what's happened there. So Guesty then solid 4th, dropped to 6th with his little off. He's done an absolutely corking job to try and come back in this race. I don't think he's going to catch up Kale. Kale's gone. Kale's left an answering machine for Guesty, saying, sorry, Kale's not here right now. If you'd like to leave a message, he's just picking up a podium trophy. So Guesty, though, making the move on Superman. JOO having to make that extra stop as promoted Guesty up into 4th. Noxie, still, I've got to say, driver of the day, possibly. Qualified 13th, stayed out of trouble. Got himself up into 7th place in this race. It's looking pretty solid for him. Deargore in 8th. He's had a good drive as well. He dropped right to the back. Homesick Alien in 9th place. It's not been a great race for him. And that's not going to help his mindset as he goes into the GTMC next. Here at this track in a championship battle with Liam Anfield. And there's only a small amount difference between the two of them, and he really needed a positive race to get himself the confidence he needs for that next race with Liam Anfield. And let's hope this one hasn't knocked him back too much. Uncle B in 10th spot. The pit stops, I think, the early pit stops have not helped him in this race, and his tyre wear is really proper painful. Jokus in 11th. He's managed to get ahead, beat Trivs. That's who he was racing earlier. And yeah, the battle there between the Polish driver and the South African goes to the Polish driver. We saw them battling out at the last race. But Racer Brown now, as we're into the last minute of racing, his fuel is flashing, but so is Matt Psycho's. Kale's got plenty of fuel on, isn't he? He could have shared some with JOO. Guesty's fuel flashing. Supermanny, he's got good fuel. And JOO, he doesn't seem to be closing that gap now to Supermanny. That lap 27, 2:05. He lost 6 seconds in one lap there. Did JOO. That really has hurt him. Noxie coming home for 7th place. It's looking good. So Racer Brown going through Casio. 15 seconds left on the clock. Is Racer Brown going to get to do a lap of honour? It looks like he has done. So Racer Brown continues on, and Matt Psycho, is the timer going to run out for Matt Psycho? I believe it is. Yes, there you go. We've gone past the 60-minute mark. So Matt Psycho grabs himself in his debut for season 2 of the WES. A great 2nd place. Well done, Matt Psycho. Fantastic driving. Kale gets the final podium position. Hard fought race for Kale there. Had some issues at the beginning of the race. Take a boo, my son. Great stuff from Kale. Guesty, great comeback after his small off. Ooh, fuel's very low though. Where is Supermanny? Supermanny not too far behind. And Guesty is very tight on that fuel tank as he makes his way to the line. But he's going to get it there. 4th spot, good points. Supermanny 5th. JOO trying to close the gap on those two ahead of him. Just couldn't do it in the end in 6th. Noxie, solid drive. My man of the race, I've got to say. From 13th on the grid up to 7th. Super stuff. Solid drive from Noxie. Bringing it home, but that fuel's very tight. It's very tight, but he gets there. 7th. With Diego in 8th place. Cracking stuff. Homesick Alien just coming through. Casio Jokus has already finished. That's all right, he's only in spoon at the moment. So Homesick Alien crossing the line for 9th place. Next is... oh no, Racer Brown's going to finish, I think. No, it's all right. I've got to pause it, you see. I don't want to miss it. So there goes Uncle B. Jokus has already finished in 11th, as Triv finished in 12th. UBD comes across the line for a solid 10th. I imagine he wanted more out of that race, but 10th is what he's got. And then there's only one more man to cross the line, and that is Racer Brown to take the win. And we will pause it there. Whoo-wee, what a race, man. What a race. So, Matt Psycho, great 2nd spot with Kale. Ooh. With Kale getting himself that final podium position. Guesty in 4th. Oh, yeah, what a shot. I'm staying on that for a while. That's beautiful. Hang on. We'll get rid of everything. You can do a screenshot of that, Talleyrand. Shouldn't do this. This is not very professional, is it? It's not very professional at all. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So, Guesty finishing in 4th, with Supermanny there just behind in 5th. Hang on. I took a screenshot. I've took a screenshot for you, Talleyrand. That's beautiful. So, yes, Guesty in 4th, ahead of Supermanny in 5th. Great racing from these guys. 6th for JOO. That's the best shot you're going to get of that. 7th for Noxie. Solid drive from Noxie, I've got to say. He was my man of the race. Solid drive from Noxie in 7th. Ahead of Diego in 8th. Oh, my God. There you go. Diego, a good solid drive from Diego. He did drop quite far back off the pack in them first few laps and made his way up into 8th place. 9th for Homesick Alien. I imagine it's not what he wanted, but it's what he ended up with, which is, you know, the way it goes sometimes. So 9th place for Homesick Alien. 10th for Uncle Abi Darren. And Racer Brown saying, I have as well. Nice shot that. It was lovely. So Uncle B Darren in 10th place. 11th for Jokers. And Trivs brings it home in 12th. I'll give you the... because I know he's probably already done the table, but oh gosh. I know Skyjacker likes to have the list. So there you go. Racer Brown takes the win from Matt Psycho. I mean, unless Racer Brown goes faster on that final lap, he got the best lap with a 158.252. And Matt Psycho comes home in 2nd. Kale 3rd. Guesty in 4th. Supermanny in 5th. JOO Pace in 6th. Noxie in 7th. Deargore in 8th. Homesick Alien 9th. Uncle B Darren 10th. Jokus in 11th. And Trivs GG in 12th. And we lost Bunny and Digital Blasphemy along the way, which is a real shame. A real bumder. But that is, it could have been internet issues. It looked to me like Digital Blasphemy was having mares from the off. I don't know if he was late into qualifying, but you don't usually see Digi qualify that late, that far down the grid. So maybe just a lack of practice, lack of being used to the car. But it just was not going for Digital Blasphemy today, or on the day of when they raced. And yes, he sat in the pits for a while and then, left. And Bunny, we didn't even see when Bunny had gone. It just sort of happened. Just suddenly realised we were a car short. But yeah, Bunny, I do know, has had internet issues in the past. So it could have been something to do with that. And in the chat, Racer Brown saying, thank you, Thingy. As always, great commentary. No worries, man. No worries. I love it. Can't get enough. And we are on the Suzuka Festival this weekend. A huge thank you to Naked HD XYZ for giving us those tips on to see your tips. And I'll be looking forward to that, giving you all of my money off my credit card later. I don't know where they went. They didn't stick with us. But they want us to go and pay money on their website, but don't want to even sit through a full race. What's the matter with them? Jesus. But yes, huge thank you to Naked HD. Well done. Yeah, that was round 2. Series 2 of the GT3 World Endurance Series. And the question has to be asked, can Racer Brown be beaten? Well, Matt Psycho, Kale, Guesty, Supermanny, JOO, Noxie, Diego, Homesick, Uncle B, Jokus, and Trivs GG will all be trying to answer that question next week. And, I might be able to tell you where. So next week it is at Kyoto Driving Park. It'll either be Yamagawa, I imagine. Yamigawa. No. Oh, hang on. Round 3. No, it's both Yamigawa and Miyabi. 2 tracks in one. Sweet. Our cup runneth over. So Yamigawa and Miyabi. So it's brilliant. Sushi. So thank you for joining us for this Best of Japan, I think it's called. Gosh, I don't know. It is, yeah, Best of Japan or something like that. I'm sure it is. So, in the Toyotas, thank you for joining us today. It was an absolute blast. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Holden A. Pair. See, because of the Naked HD thing. I'm holding a pair. Right. Yes. Sorry. So let's watch Racer Brown cross the line and take the win, because it seems rough taking it away from him. And then the stream will end. So I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Holden A. Pair. Thank you for joining me. Peace and love. Peace and love. And there he goes. Racer Brown takes the win. Super stuff. Well done, Racer Brown. Thank you very much. Peace and love. Peace and love.